I'm a Christian. Okay, that's not a surprise thing anyway for
Yeah.
everyone.
He's a
So,
deacon.
okay, that's the title.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more of Christian than
Than the title part.
than the title part. Yes.
Okay.
So that would be it for right now.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the show. So I'm going to let her introduce herself, but you all know she's not a first timer. She's like a regular. Okay. So go on, Ayo.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and whatever time zone at this time for you. My name is Aribami Oshilaja. I'm happy to be married to this wonderful friend of mine, Obikade Oshilaja. So we're here to talk to you about love today. So thank you for having us, and we hope that your expectations will be met.
Oh wow. Thank you so much, Ayo. She's been on the show before, as in for all you regular fan of Real Talk, you must have seen her before. And now on my left, like I said, I have two young girls. We call them a young girl in Nigeria, you know. They are called a young girl. So I have two lovely people. I'm going to start from my far left. His name is Justice. So Justice, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be on the show. My name is Justice. I'm not sure. Well, I'm single, as you can see, so I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn, and also speak about little and know about love. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Justice. And then Mimi.
Hi, my name is Mimi Holloway, and I'm a student and a believer in Christ. I'm really shy, so just bear with me as we go through this. Yeah, that's
Alright.
me.
Just relax. You really have nothing to be shy about.
Just like me too.
Yeah, you see, you're not the only one. Okay, so let's get right into it, guys. As I said earlier, it's love talk, and so we're going to start from that. I'm going to start from the couple. How do you define love? What does love mean to you?
Okay, that's me, right?
Anyone that I just
Okay,
said,
do you
I'm
want to go
starting
first?
from
Do you want me to go first? Doesn't matter.
Well, to me, love can be defined as as a feeling of a deep, something that has a deep sense of care, commitment, and affection added to it. So that's what I would consider to be love.
Yeah. Yes, so in addition to that, I consider love as an expression of uh, care to your loved one, and it's a deliberate action because you cannot love except you are actually deliberate about that. And then one thing about love is that it's more about giving, sacrifice, you know, than just a feeling. Though it might begin as a feeling, but it's not expected to end as a feeling. So it's more of a deliberate action, to commit yourself to a loved one, and that is you serving somebody. So that is my own perspective about love, and uh, I'm here to learn more.
Okay. All right. So what stood out for me from what they just said is it's actually an action word. You can't just love by mouth. Most of the time, it requires something from you to genuinely and truly love someone. It is sacrificial, and then you back it up with action. You have to do, and not just you do the talk, not
Yes.
just talk the talk.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you. So Mimi, let me direct the same question to you. As a young, upcoming, aspiring to be someone to fall in love, young
Mhm.
lady. What does love mean to you?
Um, in the purest form, God is love.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So when defining love, you have to see from that perspective. As a
That's
believer, I think that kind of guides my own relationship with how to give love. Like they said, love is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mhm.
have to choose this. Like I've decided that I'm gonna put your needs before
Mhm.
mine.
Mhm.
Not necessarily, it's not selfish, so it
Mhm.
comes from a very selfless place.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're talking about love, to me, I think it's going out of yourself to be more dedicated to this other person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not about what I can get, but
But
how
what
can I
I
make your
can-
life
yeah.
easier? And it's acceptance in its purest form. Like when we go to God, we know that He loves us for who we are.
Mhm.
He said He loves us regardless, despite our sin.
Mhm.
While we were yet sinners, He made this great sacrifice for us, and it's one of the reasons why most of us are Christians today. It's the biggest reason is like, okay, you did this for me, it's your only son, and you sacrificed this for me. So I think when I think about love, I think about it in that form. It's selflessness is outside of me. It's when
It's
I
not
said
about you.
it's not about me. It's never about me
Mhm.
or what I can get. It's not about this person makes me happy. It's what makes this person happy. Am I the person that makes the person happy?
Yeah.
That's what makes
Mm.
love that thing, and it's a continuous choice. It doesn't fade. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people say, "Oh, you can fall out of love," but I think if you can fall out of it, it was never love to begin with.
Mhm.
Okay, let me stop you now. Let me just take that because you know at times you are so angry at someone that you don't love them at a particular time. Is that possible? You can be so mad at someone that you're angry at you and you're like, I really don't like you right now.
Now, from that perspective, when you look at love as a feeling, right, then you might want to base your action or your reaction on your feeling at that particular time. But when we talk about love, we're talking about something more deeper than that. Feeling is transient, but the action, it comes from your heart, right? And it's something that you want to give irregard, no, not considering the situation or at the moment. You understand? So that's I would call love.
Okay, there was a time I brought someone on the show, I think the second episode, and I think we talked about if it's possible for you to fall out of love. And she gave us an example of when she started dating her husband. She went back as far back. I think she's been married for 20 something years. She went as far back and she said, ask me now if I am as crazy about my husband the way I was then. Because a lot of things have happened. They both changed. They both developed. They both matured. So a lot of things, they have kids, they've offended each other over time. She said, no. Do I still love him? Yes. But am I still as crazy about him the way I was when I met him in school? So I'm going to ask you that. I'm going to put you on the spot. So since we are talking about this, are you still as crazy about him the first time you met him? Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's what
I don't like putting you on the spot, but I just want, because over time I've had women say there are times I'm so angry with my husband that I don't really like him.
Because
You know, is that falling out of love, or it's just in the moment?
I
kind of
think
a thing.
it's more of in the moments, you know, and that moment is always short-lived, you know. So for me, the same way I felt about him when I met him or when we started, I would say I feel even much more about him now because we've grown and there are other sides of him that maybe he didn't have that we've come to nurture, and then all of those put together has made me,
you
makes
love
me
him in a
more.
different way. I think that's
More.
actually the thing. Yeah, you
More.
love him more, but in a different way than when you were still
Started.
younger.
Yeah,
So-
that's
I think-
that's the consistent. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. That's the consistent with considering that you are growing in love. So it's not just a feeling thing. It's something that it started like that, but the more of yourself that get revealed to you, the more attractive that you guys should be.
Get to each
You
other.
understand? So that's growing in love.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, I think it's infatuation.
Mm-hmm.
I see this, so this is exciting. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why the first time you ever had a crush, you were like when I was a lot younger, the first crush you ever had, it's very overwhelming. It's infatuation. It's not anything real. Like, you've not had any fight. It's not even realistic. If I had met somebody when I was like a lot of years ago and I said, okay, we settle down now, it'd be so much different because I'm not even the same person I was last year or 6 months ago. We're always growing. So I think the love develops where it moves away from that infatuation where it's just, oh yeah, this is it. The idea of love to the reality of it. When it's bad, am I there? Can I handle this when it's bad? Like, it's not, it takes grace to be married.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, like, enjoy your single, like, really serve the season because it takes grace to be married. This is another individual. So love does not fade away. And love in its own self cannot fade. Because you could be mad at people. We use family as example.
Yeah.
We love some of our family better from afar
Yeah.
than actually interacting
Living
all
together.
the time. Because it's just like, okay, even our friends, like if you ever, when I was going to move in with my friend, I had a lot of people say, don't move in with your friends, it's going to be different. It's going to be really different. And we had to navigate all those things, but it made us stronger because it's different from the idea of it. It starts being real, like, oh, if this happens, we'll be fine. But you never really know until that has happened. And so I think, for me, I don't think love can fade. I think you can be angry and you can lose that infatuation, but that's why love is a choice. Is regardless of the imperfections, I'm choosing to love this and to be comfortable with the things that make me uncomfortable.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Justice, do you want to answer?
I mean, for the most part, she's actually saying what is like, in my heart, because like, the thing is like, to love or love does not fade away. That's the fact. But like when, for example, when you get married and stuff like that, it's some certain things. Maybe let me say, if I fall in love with her right now, it's not gonna take a week or 2 months for her to know the real person. She might like me. Let's say love at first sight and stuff like that. But when we get to live together, certain things about me start revealing. And also, just cause like somebody say I love you doesn't mean okay when you guys go to the house it's just all about love. Cause like you have to keep the fire burning. You have to do things that is gonna like for example, it's Valentine's Day. You can't just say, oh, she knows I love her, I'm not gonna give her no gift.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Sorry, someone said recently that my husband thinks because she is married to me, I'm automatically his Valentine. She said no, he still has to ask me. So that's what Justice is saying. Don't assume she's my wife. She knows.
Yeah, you can assume. Yeah. So my thing about it is you have to keep the fire burning. Because actually love is I think it's a feeling type of thing. So if you get into the house with somebody and you're not just doing the right thing, it's not gonna. Love doesn't fade away, but it might
if you don't
keep. It's about keeping the fire burning. It's about doing the things. Your loved one wants you to take her to the beach. Buy her flowers. Bring her food sometimes. So if it's not
breakfast
there,
and bread.
So if it's not there, it's gonna be some type of way.
All right, thank you so much, Justice. Thank you all of you. Now, Justice said something about keeping the fire burning. And I'm going to put the couple on the spot again.
Okay.
Ayo, how has it been keeping the fire burning?
Well, in our own case, with kids and activity, we don't really have a lot of time to, even though we do have time together, and mostly it's work, but time away by ourselves is what we don't really have as much of. So as soon as we get one, so we enjoy each other's company. So that way that has helped us to keep the fire burning. So every opportunity,
what works for her might not work for you, right? Now there are different ways to keep the fire burning, and so I'm going to ask a married man to tell us one of the ways you think a guy should keep the fire burning.
Yeah, of course, definitely. If you are in a relationship, now you are selfless about that. Number one, it is not your life is no longer your own, right? Your time is no longer your own. Now it's the understanding between both of you to manage what is crucial to you. That is very important. Okay, maybe I work 9 to 5. They know that I work 9 to 5. I work from home, right? So in my office, don't knock on my door, or if you have to knock on my door, you have to ask for permission or something, because I could be in a meeting anytime, right? Now that should not take away from me. Maybe if I have 10 minutes, break time, I can just go and say, I just want to see how beautiful you are. You understand? Or what do you want to eat or something? I want to make something. Do you mind if I bring it to you or something like that? So just be conscious of your loved one while you are still busy doing what is important to you. That is very, very crucial in keeping the fire burning. Don't just be single focus. Bible says in the book of 1 Corinthians 13, from 4 till 8, when he was talking about the definition of love, he said it's not selfish, right? So you're not selfish with your time, you're not selfish with your resources, you're not selfish with so many things. Like, for example, maybe in your own case, because of time, you don't have time to do certain things, and you love to do that, but you know that maybe your spouse has time to do that thing. You can even sacrifice your space, to make sure that you give your spouse the best that is needed for them. So those are the ways by which you can keep the fire burning.
Giving up your comfort for your spouse is a way to, and I know a lot of women appreciate that, because we are African, so we are going to speak from that context. A lot of African guys don't do that. Justice, did I lie?
Probably they are not born again. If anybody is born again, it's a new creature.
Yeah, that's true. The thing is like, well, I'm gonna put it this way, like for us coming from Africa, is that how can I put it? Like, in Africa, your man always take that man. You have to put yourself out
control.
There. But at the same time, for me, it's very easy to keep the fire burning. Like, if I'm in a relationship, all I have to do is like know what she like. You know what I'm saying? I can't do everything in the same way.
Can you wash? Can you cook? Can you clean the house? I'm not talking about roses and chocolate and all that. I'm talking about doing the basic thing that a woman, like an African woman, right from childhood, we are taught to take care of the house, to be mindful of our husbands, to do this. That's the way we are groomed. So, and the men are groomed the opposite way. So now it's rare for you to find a man that really doesn't want to be that way, that wants to give up their own comfort for the woman. A typical Nigerian guy will sit down on a Saturday watching football while the wife is slaving away. So that's my question. I'm talking about roses or all that one is easy to do now. Buy something for me. But a woman, you get to a stage, those things doesn't appeal us anymore.
I think personally, it's the little things.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the little things. Is like for me, if we're talking for a long time and just maybe we've been gisting about stuff as my friend, or male, female, regardless of the gender, we've been friends for a long time, and then maybe it's my birthday or something comes up, and you remember something that I said in passing, and I'm like, oh my God, you pay attention. Like, it's all these moments, those little things that you do. Let's say you're cold, somebody brings you a blanket, or they get water and they get water for you as well. Like, it's not so big, because the little things are the things you appreciate. It's the everyday thing. Because you say Valentine's, it's one day a year. You say, oh, Mother's Day, my birthday, all those things are like one day a year. After, what about every other day? It's the little things. We just sit down to watch movies, or we're just together. We just sit together. We just spend time together. We actually enjoy the jokes we tell each other. The making the most out of the mundane. That's the beauty and everything. That's how to keep the fire burning. Of course, everybody's different. If I was a person that likes gifts, then give me gifts. But at the end of the day, it goes beyond all of that. It's always what happens. Like, if the simple becomes too casual, then it loses the spark.
That's correct.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, you said something, we are all different. Which is why I think we should talk about the love languages and all that. Now, for you, you might not be crazy about gifts. For you, you might be particular about helping me with chores, taking care of the kids. So let's talk about the love language thing, and I'm going to address that to
let the spirit lead you in the right.
Now, the love language thing, showing affection, gift giving, and all that. How do you think it comes into keeping the fire burning?
Like I say, keeping the fire burning is very easy. It's not something which you, first of all, you don't have to do it every day. But the thing is, you have to, like she said, you have to identify the things he or she likes. Like for me,
which is the love language.
Which is the love language, and at the same time, people feel like gifts and all that. And I mean, you have to study your partner. If my partner like gifts, then I should surprise her sometimes. Like she might be in the office working, and I'd be like, okay, I deliver like a flower, like greeting card.
You must like flowers.
Something like that.
You must like giving flowers.
So yeah, I mean, keeping the fire burning in a relationship
roses.
is, for me, it's pretty easy. It's not. It's cool. It's easy, and it's really nice. The thing about relationships is just identify what your partner likes. If you can identify what he or she likes, you're good. So you can always do it. You always gonna keep the fire burning, because I'm not expecting nothing from you if I go to work. If you send me food, I'm definitely gonna be happy, even if I don't want to eat.
Well, personally too, I think with the love languages, a lot of times we take that out of context, in the sense that when we take that test, if you've taken the test before, you know that there's a little bit of everything.
In everything, yes.
Yep.
There's
That's
a percentage that falls somewhere. Maybe majority of the time I like this, but does not mean you forsake all else.
All
Yes.
of it. Yep.
It's not that.
It's just like the personality thing, the
Yes.
personality type thing. For me, I know I cut across like 3 or 4 of the personality traits.
Yeah.
So which is, when I'm even talking about the love languages and they're saying, words of affirmation, I like that. Physical touch, I like that. Gift giving, I like that. This, I like that. And then you now start feeling guilty and say, why is it that I like everything?
Because you do. We're
Yeah.
human. Like when the Bible's talking about love, it says love is patient, love is kind. It doesn't say, well, love is patient, and that's that. Then love is like it's a core habit. It's everything. Cuts across everything. Is that you don't keep record of wrongdoing. Like it's every little bit of it. It's sacrificial. So we have to remember that when we talk about love languages, your partner might prefer a certain thing over another. But does not mean like I want to hear that.
Other one.
I want words of affirmation. Tell me I look good. Tell me you love me and stuff like that. Give me gifts sometimes. If I say let's spend time together, let's spend time together.
If I say up for the kitchen chores,
Do it. Like it's just a little bit of
just
everything.
once,
But people just say, oh, her love language is this, so let me do just that. And we start wondering why someone is just angry for no reason. Even with guys, like some guys are like, okay, my love language is physical touch and everything, so you're not there. And then decide like, oh, you never tell him like, you're doing a great job. You don't motivate him.
As long as
he's
I
just
keep
there.
touching him.
Every 2 minutes.
You'll be fine.
Fine. You'll be fine. And that's just why we need to just remember, like, it's a guideline to know what the person prefers.
Prefers.
But does not mean,
Aspect of it.
you can like 2 things,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So
Thank
that's just the point.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. So we are going to move on to the relationship itself. You're dicking. So what is a godly relationship?
That's a very good question. Now, number one, we should consider first that when we talk about relationship, we have some parties involved, and these are imperfect people coming together, to become perfect, right? And ideally, there is no ideal relationship, but we have to consider the godly part of it. So now we recognize our vulnerabilities, we recognize our imperfections, and we are coming together based on that understanding to work out towards perfection, to work out our differences, to work out our imperfection to become perfect. So godly relationship is doing those things in the consciousness of God at the center of that. So no matter what, maybe somebody has a particular trait. She talks too much. He doesn't talk at all. Now, this might be some discrepancy in their relationship. Now, one doesn't like you not being talking, as much. And now you're trying to make that person, get better in that aspect. Now, you understand from God's perspective those things that person those traits that person has, and how that person can become better. So, having those things, working towards that in the consciousness that God is guiding you, that makes a godly relationship one of those things. So you can't take God out of those things.
Equation.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, sir. So,
Can I-
Mimi,
Can I
do you- okay,
can I chime in a little bit? Okay, he has really put it well together. But one thing I know is that of a godly relationship, God has a focus. So everything that is being done, was like is like being pointing to
Towards God.
like towards what's God's perspective. God's perspective. Even if it's communication, God's perspective about communication. Even if it's gift giving, whatever it is, how you spend your time and all of that. God's perspective about it. So that's to me
All right,
that's
thank you so much. So it's God focused, it's
God-focused.
God centered. That's what a godly relationship is all about, from what they just said. So, Mimi, from a single person perspective, what is an ideal relationship or a God-centered relationship? What does that mean to you?
Like both of them said, God is the foundation of it. If the foundation be destroyed, everything will come
Crumbles.
to everything crumbles. A house that's built on sand would melt, like it would just rain will fall and everything is gone. So for me, a godly relationship is centered on God gave us a perfect example of a relationship. His relationship with us. He created it's just he has already given that. That's the sample. And he's the man. He made this earth. He's the mammal we refer to. So it's very simple to always check back on that. How does we can love based on how God has loved us. If you don't understand how God loves you, it's very hard for you to love.
Yeah.
That's why we always say, I want to be with a God-fearing person. I know a lot of people say that without knowing the real meaning of that. But it's God comes first. I honor God, so I honor you. I love God, so I love you. So it becomes centered on that. I respect you because God said you're my head. Not because society says this, but in the sense of, I know that. But at the same time, he loves me enough that he's not trying to lord over me. It's still our decision.
Because God did
One
not
flesh.
actually even
Yes.
force anything over us.
God didn't force it. So God doesn't force it. God could have made all of us love him and
Yes.
serve him every minute of every day. But he gave us that choice. So for me, an ideal godly relationship is a God that is a relationship that's built on God, and also you're not unevenly yoked. The point is you complement each other. Like you said, if I'm a quiet person, I'm not quiet, but I'm very reserved. I can be shy in public. I will not talk. That's not me. But I don't want to be with someone like that.
Yeah.
If not, I would sit at home. All our kids would sit at home. We all really light skinned because no one has seen the sun. Because we'll never go out. So it's a complementing each other. Where I fall, that's why the Bible says, should one fall, the other will live. So that's like as iron sharpens iron, because you build your relationship on friendship. God is our father and our friend. So in with your lover and your friend. If you don't have a friendship, it's really hard to have a relationship because then you're trying to hold on one aspect and you don't actually like each other. You have to love each other and like each other, or you're going to be seeing each other every day of your life. That's every day. Like I wake up like, you're still here. Like, it's a real thing. So it has to be that balance. Where I fall short, you don't. We can't both be lacking.
You know, even scientifically, they'll tell you unlike poles are supposed to
Attract
attract.
each other.
Yeah.
When like poles
Repels.
So if you're the same, it most likely won't work scientifically. So now to now bring God into it itself, he said, "Where my strength is made known in your weakness." He could have actually brought your weakness up to meet his, but one needs to be down for the other two. So
To
which is
balance
why,
up.
yes, thank you both so much. So we are going to go on a short break. When we come back, we are going to go to Justice because I see him shaking in his chair like he has something to say. We'll be back. No question. Yes. Okay. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to all our Facebook friends. I saw some people just joining in. Welcome. So we've been talking about love, and we've had a fantastic time so far. So before we went on that break, I said we were going to come back and talk to Justice. So Justice, what does a godly relationship mean to you? As a young girl, as a guy man.
I mean, I'm very comfortable sitting by Mimi because she actually really saying everything which is supposed to be said. But yeah, a godly relationship is actually a relationship which is being centered with or by God, you know. So I mean, it's not really enough for me to say.
Okay.
A three-chord string cannot be
Cannot be
broken.
broken.
Cannot be broken.
That's
You
the
know,
thing that's
that
in my
like
head.
someone said something, I think it was still on this show, maybe the third episode, and she said it actually should be upward and not downward. Now, when we're talking about relationship, we do God, the husband, and the wife. We bring it down and make a triangle. She said it's wrong. It should be husband, wife, both going up, which is God at the center of it all.
True.
He said, but because we always think God is there and then it's coming down to meet us, we get it wrong. But that we should stop drawing the triangle downward, but it should come from this and then go up. That just came to my mind when you talked about the three chord.
They cannot be broken.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much. So since it's Valentine, let's deviate a bit from all the serious talk. Okay. Let's let's ask ourselves, as Christians, should we be celebrating Valentine? Let's not be too dim about it too. You know, let's be realistic about it. So should we be celebrating Valentine as Christians?
To start with, fine, Valentine has its own connotation, you know, either negative, positive, whichever way, you know, everybody look at it. But talking about love, love is not something that is date specific, time specific, or event specific. So it should be something that you do on a constant basis. Because like you said, if you want to, like Amy said earlier, you know, like you know, the love language is not just one thing. Just the same way it is, you know, showing love to your partner or expressing love or choosing to celebrate each other on a particular day should not be, you know, subjected
Once a
to
year.
February 14th only. It
One
should
day in a
be
year.
spontaneous. It should be some, you know, as agreed or as convenient by you guys, you know, on an ongoing
Regular
basis.
basis.
And that alone will keep the fire going. It will keep the affection for each party, you know, burning.
Now, to answer that question, no, she captured it well, right? Another thing is that should Christians be celebrating Valentine? You may celebrate Valentine, but you don't have to. That's just the truth. Because when we look at the origin of Valentine, I think research they got it mixed up sometimes. They said it's like honoring Saint Valentine for being a martyr, you know, things like that. So, and then some people believe that it's like it's they want to Christianize a pagan god that does. So they have not actually ascertained the origin or the reason behind Valentine. So now, if you understand that, and love is important for us to celebrate, then our focus should be on love. You love people that are important to you, and you celebrate them. And should that be one day in a year? No. It should be something that's what I call continuous monitoring. You have to do that continually. So, Valentine, I don't really think it should be something that we have to set a day apart as Christians to do, especially if you have to understand the origin of Valentine. You want to actually wait from Christian perspective. So that it's not written in the Bible whether you should or you should not, but you have to make that decision.
There's actually nothing like Valentine.
Yeah, in the Bible. So
Also, if we look at the story of how Valentine came about, we will if we look at it specifically, we'll see it has to do with sacrifice. So definitely every day you have to be making sacrifice for
For anyone that you
spouse, for
consider.
the people that you love. Sacrifice of time, sacrifice, you know, all kinds of sacrifices, you know, as you deem it fit.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you both so much. So let me ask a single thing. So, do you have any plan for Valentine? Justice?
Really, I don't. Me, I'm single, so. But if
Oh, you don't have a. Oh, yeah, you said so. You
Yeah.
don't have a girlfriend.
So, but if I did, I definitely gonna have a plan.
Oh,
yeah.
did you hear that? He said you definitely have a plan. So what would your
Yeah.
plan be? Do you think you're Christian, so should you be celebrating Valentine's?
Of course, yeah, of course. I mean, we should. For me, I don't mind if I'm a Christian or not, because like if we try to put a lot of things into perspectives, if we go back to the ancient histories, a lot of people talk about a lot of things about Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to put it that way, then it's a lot of activities we're not gonna celebrate. But I'm not saying, at the same time, I'm not saying we should just keep 14th of February for a special day where that's the only day you have to show love to your loved one. But I mean, at the same time,
I respect your opinion. I
Yeah,
really
sure,
respect
definitely.
your opinion. Because he just said something that just strikes me, that if we want to now start dissecting it, then we'll have a lot of days to break down.
To break
which,
off from, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
which makes sense. So Mimi, you were laughing when he was talking.
Oh no, it's the way I see it, like it's a day. I see it like it's Mother's Day. Mother's Day does not mean you don't celebrate your mother's every day. It's like my birthday. There's no part of the Bible that says I need to celebrate my birthday. I celebrate my life every day.
Mhm.
But it's an extra special day for me. It's my day. So it's like it's a day that reminds us to take your time and appreciate. Because yes, we're supposed to do it every day, but we get so busy with the flow of things that we don't really do that. We love our mothers every day, but Mother's Day is extra special. You have to do that long post, mommy this, mommy that. We love our friends every day, but it's when it's their birthday, you take that time out. And I think there are many variations of it. It's not just Valentine's. Sometimes some of us also take time to celebrate our friends. We call it Galentine's. We go out with our friends.
Okay, I'm hearing that for the first time.
That's a new
There's
one.
Galentine's and Galentine's. I don't know how it's pronounced.
Okay.
But we go out with our friends, and it's just like, I know you love me. Like our females, we send gifts to each other.
Oh, really?
Like, you're my friend, you're important to me. I want you to know that on this day where everyone celebrates in love, I love you. It's not necessarily just in the context of relationship.
Do we
It
have
could
like
also be with your
siblings
family.
day too?
Like, that's the thing. There are days that we call days. I think nowadays there are days for your siblings as well.
Mhm.
There are all these other days. It doesn't mean that you don't appreciate them outside of it. It just means this is the day that I'm reminding myself to make it public. I love you every day. This day, the whole world gonna know that I love you. Like, I'm putting this out there. They know every day, but I want them to know how extra special you mean to me. It's just a special day. It's like my birthday. I want to be celebrated on my birthday. Yeah, love me every day. But on my birthday passes and it's like, I love you every day. So what's the big deal? How would that make me feel? So, and also, I think a lot of things are over spiritualized.
Okay. So we're going to talk about that, because that was actually what came to my mind. Because we spiritualized it, we dissect it, and we tell ourselves as children of God we should not do this. You said something. You said a pagan. Some people said it's celebrating a pagan tradition or whatever. Now, she just said some things that I have never actually even thought about. Why celebrate birthdays? Why do we have to go, especially us, Nigerians are extras. We do extras, So at our birthday, we are doing all the extra. So why do we have to celebrate that? Where is it? It's not written down in the Bible.
Yeah.
So if we are going to apply that to Valentine, like, I know back home in Nigeria, my friends love Valentine. You guys are wasting your time, so people are going backside. Even though it's been taken out of context, it's been messed up, it's been rubbished. Let's put that out there. Most of the time, the reason behind it is not celebrated. It's the sexual activities that we want to engage in, which is why I think I cannot actually say it's over spiritualizing it. I think it's bastardization of it.
That's exactly okay. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not gonna accept what you just said.
Okay.
About
Yeah, you're free.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like the sexual part of it, because like on Christmas Day, people do have sex. Yeah. Free.
Like, there's no special day for fornication.
Special day for that.
Yes.
So if you don't,
It's like extra on Valentine's Day.
No, it's not really, because I think more people go out and go to do activities or showcase this, that it's not really necessarily about that. I just think, like, for some people, it's just, we ever spiritualize it. The same way I could say a mortar and pestle, I want to use it to pound and just make pepper. Some people say it's a witchcraft thing. They use it for this. Jesus laughed about all those transitions. Like you're so carried away by tradition, you forget the heart of it all. It's not about like anything can be used for a spiritual thing. Anything, God turned water to wine. Jesus turned water to wine. Very simply, like it's wine. Some people tell you don't drink, drink, don't get drunk, which is an instruction, yes. Some people tell you don't drink at all, but Jesus turned water to wine. They didn't specify non-alcoholic wine, and at that time, it was actual wine because it was their weddings. That's how they celebrated. So when we spiritualize things, God can use any vessel. We should be trying to turn it over as Christians into what it should be, as opposed to what the world has made it. That's our mission. That's our calling. That's the commission. We're supposed to find a way to make it, instead of saying this day is bad, well, this is a day for sinners. I should make you see why this is Christ's thing. Make it about Christ. Christ so loved us. He made the sacrifice for us. So we're sacrificing ourselves to show the people that we love that we love them. Make it something good. Anything can be bad or good. Just depends on your perspective.
That's very
And
correct.
how you use it, yeah.
So we're giving it to the world. Why?
Yeah.
Can I chime in a little bit? Yeah, I do like the way what you said about bringing it to the side of Christ. Making it
About Christ.
about Christ and stuff like that. It's just that the way the word says it is like the day that evil seeds are being sown, in a way. You get what I'm saying? Because the thing is, prior to Valentine's Day, if somebody is single or they've broken off a relationship or something, because everybody seems to be like in pairs, it makes them want to have like, okay, am I without? Or am I gonna have to compromise that, and go with this person that's been talking to me? Or because now I don't have, does that make me an out? Stuff like that.
I disagree.
Now bringing it back to the fact that, it's okay, I can walk alone, I'm still loved. All of these things doesn't define me, and still finding love and contentment in who we are and in the way Christ has made us, and in whatever situation we find ourselves. Knowing that love is irrespective of a day, a time, event, or anything.
Well, which is true, but my thing is this here. We are Christians, right? So, if, for example, if I'm single right now, just cause I'm single doesn't mean because tomorrow is Valentine's Day I have to come and rush this lady just for us to get to something. So because if that happens, if that happens, then we're defining the purpose of Valentine. I don't think. Let's put it this way. I don't think God will be angry if He woke up tomorrow and get you a nice perfume, nice flowers, and give
she will love it.
Be like,
she will love it.
I love you.
I love you again.
It's as simple as that. But the thing is, like, the world is I'm even loving this day because it's full of depression in the world right now. People going through a lot of stuff. So we cannot just say because the world is making Valentine's Day to be a sex day, then I'm not going to show the person I love her. Like she said, why do I celebrate my birthday? I celebrate my birthday because I want people to know it's my day. But I celebrate myself every day because definitely I don't want to put it out there, but I treat myself every time. So we should just learn how to, put things into a Christian perspective and do it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've been saying, that we should just look beyond the feelings and the definition of feelings, but we look at the purpose, right? The purpose of the day is the main thing that should be our focus, not the feelings and the definitions that people have actually given to it. So
I really love what Mimi said about make it about what you want it to be.
Yes.
I understand how it has been turned into something else. We cannot shy. We cannot say that is not true. That's true. It's been turned into something else. But Mimi said something that we can actually make it. It's a choice. You can actually decide to make it about what it is. So yes, you can celebrate it as a Christian, but celebrate it in your own context of what it is. Not of, I must get a girlfriend, I must have a boyfriend. Who is going to value me this year? Who is going to give me a gift this year?
No, there's this trend going on now. People literally, I will come into my apartment, I will draw
you put yourself together,
and then come in and come out and be like,
this
so I think people are seeing it. It's not just about this person. And like with
Mhm.
Valentine's too, giving it to your friends,
Mhm.
we've separated it from the way it's the world, oh, sex, or this is also a different thing. I celebrate my friends on Valentine's. I can celebrate. I will send myself flowers and come out and be like, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's just me. Because I think like
Or you mail it to yourself.
it's myself. It's me. You show that self-love. And I think with the part of, oh, before Valentine's, this was this. We live in a social media age now. If you want to be tension, you're going to be tension.
Yes, yes.
Irregardless of Valentine's, everybody's in a whole different kind of relationship. That you just be wondering, not only me single, like everybody's like, oh, me and somebody's
Even
son.
someone taking pictures of
Me and
their best
somebody's
friend,
son.
they will say,
Me and somebody's son. Me and this. Oh, my relationship. Nobody goes to post like, oh, my relationship is bad.
Mhm.
So you see this. So if you want to be tension in this social media age, like many times I take a break from social media. Because you know, you get pulled into this wanting to compare this or, oh, I'm about to be this age.
Fictional world.
Yes,
actually.
I'm at this age. I've not achieved this. I've not. Somebody will come out at 21. I've done this. I've done that. I've done that. I'm like,
The
what's the
pressure.
point? You start to look at the clock like, what's ticking? So either way, if you want to be tension, you're going to be tension. And it's not just Valentine's. Even before Valentine's, people are still putting perverted things on the internet all the time. You go on your timeline. There's this challenge or that challenge or either way.
Silhouettes.
And yes, there are too many things out there right now that if you say, oh, well, because of Valentine's Day, that's going to make everything bad. Every day
It's bad.
is getting
Bad.
worse. There are
Yes.
more and more ways.
Sufficient for the day and the
I
evil
say
thereof.
thereof. Yes,
Like
so-
even Christmas, a lot of
Yes,
people made
so-
it about couples.
Mm.
You know, me and my boyfriend in front of a Christmas tree. And he says to me like, are
Yeah.
you just it's your birthday? Like we've even forgotten about what it is. It's gifts on presents under the tree. So if I don't get a gift on Christmas, I start getting a family. I'm like, I grew up in a Nigerian home. Nobody
What
wants to make
gift?
gifts. Christmas.
As long as you have dollar
right?
fries and chicken.
You spend Christmas giving things out. That's the
Yeah.
joy of it. Like, oh, people
No, you
come
take
around, come and eat. You take food and give to
Yeah.
people. That's how it was. So when I come here now, like everyone is like, oh yeah, Christmas gifts. We send this. I'm looking at you like, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm there. Like, you're okay. So either way, every holiday can be turned or has been turned. People turn Easter into Easter Bunny.
Something else.
Yeah.
Either way, anything can be perverted. Do we stop celebrating
Mm.
it because they did that? No. We take our holiday back. It's our day. Like, what do you mean? I'm celebrating love because Christ loved me.
He is
I
actually
just
the
give so
epitome
much
of
love.
love. He is
Like-
the epitome of love.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, thank you so much. So we are going to go on a short break because I think I need to go check out some messages up there. So we'll go on a short break and then we'll be back for the final game aspects.
Oh, God.
Let's go. Right? Okay. Welcome back, guys. So this is the final. I think we have like 15 minutes left, right? Okay. So it's like the final 15 minutes, and so we just want to have some fun. For the singles, I'm going to ask them how do you intend to meet your special person, the other person? You know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to start from them first.
Oh,
I want them
God,
to tell them. I want them to tell us.
Sacrificial lamb, right?
I want them to tell us how they met.
Oh.
Right.
How many minutes do we have? 15 minutes?
Don't worry about it. How
Do you
did
want to
you
go
guys-
first?
Yes, there we go.
And how long have you been married?
Well, 12 years.
Oh,
Going
wow.
13.
Mhm. We actually met in school. We met in 1999,
Wow.
you know, and then we didn't date until 2007.
Wow.
Yeah, so we met each other, and we've been in each
That
other's
was like
life
8 years after.
all these years we've been in each other's lives. So it's not like as if but we've all been friends. It was a group of friends, but myself and him, after a while, alongside the journey of the friendship, so we,
I decided to wink
pulled
at
to
you
the
one day.
sides and all of
Winked at
that
you one day
for
and
a
said,
couple
"About
of years, and
So,
then
in
2007, it became
In addition, okay, yeah, we met 1999. Okay, it happened that we were both in the same school, Moshood Abela Polytechnic, Oku State, right, Mapoli. Okay, so she was in accounting department. I was in electrical department. So I had a friend then, a female friend in the same department, happens to be our friend. So she came to the department to check on her friend.
Okay.
Okay, so but the friend was not available. So people said that if you're looking for this person, then go to Coyote. So she came to me. That was the very first day I would see her. But there was no connection, right? It was
wasn't
just
an instant
yeah, it
attraction.
wasn't right, and it wasn't for a very long time. So we were like group of four friends. I happened to be the only guy among four of us. So and each of them,
She was the one that luckily got you out of the three.
where God under the steps of the righteous, right? So for this period of time, I mean, it was just like the friends, just friends, right? And even after the 2 years in school, after we ended, there was no special relationship. It was just like one of my friends, my sister got got married in 2005. I invited her, she came, and I was in Ibadan, she was in Lagos. I didn't even know her house, I didn't know her parents. It was just like my friends, no special interest at all. So even when she traveled to United States in 2006, I didn't even know about that. To even tell you that it wasn't like any, yeah, it was not planned at all. So I went to UK in 2007, a year after she left. So I sent email to all my friends that, hey, I'm not in UK. This is my contact number. The soil went to sow seeds, right?
And someone watered it.
So she happened to be the only one that responded. That okay, what's your contact number? Okay, what's the code? So we started talking. A stranger in UK, she was also here in US. So most of the time, if I go to store to say, okay, I want to buy anything, I'll be confused.
And then you call her.
So she will be the one that I will call. Hey, I'm really hungry. I want to buy this. Can you? She's not been to UK, but she felt that okay, the system should be the same, right? Okay, go to this particular aisle, and that they should have something similar to that. Okay, that time there was no social media. What we're using to communicate then was phone and Yahoo Messenger or MSN Messenger, right?
Or i5.
Or Skype. i5, yeah, thank you for reminding me. So,
You're wondering what are they talking about?
so it was like that in 2007. So we became so used to each other that we can't just but talk every day.
Wow.
So every day we look forward to.
Gradual thing.
So at that time I was free in terms of I didn't have any entanglement. And at that time I actually made up my mind that I'm not going to even search for anybody. I'll just focus. I'll just be focused on God and my book and things like that. So, and one day, I just felt like, oh, God, this is what I'm seeing. Is that what you're saying? So I proposed. She said she was weighing her pros and cons. I said, which one is pros and cons? Just say yes now. So I persisted.
Was there someone when she proposed? Was there?
No, at that time.
Why you were
no.
weighing your pros
and cons?
It was the pros. Who was the cons? Who was the cons?
Not really, because I don't know how best to put it. Fine. Even as a young person, you've prayed, you've waited, fasted, and stuff like that. I dated someone before.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, and I do know how God deals with me. So, but going into this particular relationship, I know I'm not the kind of person that wants to like date so many people until I get situated. It's not one of those things that I think I have. I don't want to have like a relief experience of like 1, 2, 3, 4. No. I'm the kind of person that guards my heart. So since I guard my heart, I'm like, I need to have that conviction. If this is where I'm going, if this is what I want to say yes to, I need to be able to stand by it and all of that. So I was raised to make sure you have your conviction if you're going into something. If I say yes to you today, if somebody walks into through the door, I should be able to tell you automatically and say, hey, he just proposed to me, or this is the person I'm with. I shouldn't have to be like, it's not your time to talk about that.
You needed to be sure.
So I needed that
sure.
time to be sure. And for me to be sure, it's something that I have to take to God. So, that was why.
So he planted the seed and.
So September 16th was very early on Sunday morning. We were having the regular devotion, having this conversation. UK time, it was early in the morning. They said, what about this thing that we're saying now? Let Oracle speak.
Abio.
So
you were ready
she
to
started. She said, okay, what can you remember about me? That was the question she asked me. Because at that time, the last time we saw was 2005, March, when she came for my sister's wedding in Ibadan. Okay. She said, what can you remember about me? I said, okay, I remember that you're very hospitable, you're a godly woman, you can go extra mile for anybody that that come across your way. Are you still that same person? Say yes, I'm still the same person. And I asked her the same question, what can you remember about me? And she also said that, okay, I remember when you were in school, you organized people for fellowship and all those good stuff and things like that. So I said, okay, it's still the same me. So he said, okay, on that note, your God will be my God. Where you go, I will go. And I said,
became roots.
Okay.
She became roots.
I said, are you saying yes? I jump up from my I said, yeah, I got it. So, and it's been like that a year after we got married.
Oh wow! And
So,
I was enjoying this. So
it's been
far.
very sweet.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow! He said, did you see the way he said this? He said it as if he's tasting something. All right, thank you so much. So for you, our single trying to matchmake couple. Look at the way Mimi looked at me. So what do you think is your own biggest attraction? What is the biggest attraction for you?
Me, personally, you know how they say, by their fruits you shall know them? God's light cannot be hidden. When a person serves God like that, I kind of know, and I think I value that, and I value intelligence. Like, I want to learn, I want to grow, and my brain works pretty fast, so I need someone to be able to keep up in that kind of way. So I think those are things that are really important to me, especially God aspect, because if you don't love God, there is no way you can love me. Like, it's almost impossible. But about meeting the person, how I want to meet the person, you know how some people say, when I met him and I knew. I want to know that kind of thing. Just save me the stress. Let me just know. So, like, let me know, okay, this is the person, or this is not the person. It just be easy. Just walk, not the one, not the one, the one. And I'm like, I saw him, I knew. Thank you, Jesus. I want that. But I know that it doesn't work like that. So for me, I don't think I have a specific way I want to meet somebody. I just think, like, when it happens, I need to at least feel that it's different. Like, I kind of just know where I'm comfortable. It's not easy for me to get comfortable. So from the jump, I want to know by being comfortable from the beginning. Like, okay, I see this. God's in it. Be good.
Okay, thank you, Mimi. So Justice, they usually say once the guys see that person, they know. So, is that true?
No, it's not true for me. I mean, I'm an imperfect being. I know that. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, my father didn't go to school. Then my mom was a nurse. She was in school. and they actually met. And for some reason, my father was a businessman, but he cannot construct a good sentence in English.
Wow.
You know, so you know, it's all about God intervention for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I cannot say, oh, I want an intelligent woman, I want this and that. Of course, everybody wants something like that, but me, like I say, I'm open to anything. If God say I'm gonna get married to this person who is not this person, who is not this kind of person, and I'll be able to, you know, like you say, unlike poles, you know, attract. And I feel like, you know, the Bible says, if the Lord does not build the house, the work of the builder is useless. You know, a lot of my friends who came to this country together, they were married, you know, and it wasn't the right thing for them to do. You know what I'm saying? So they find it really difficult right now. I'm praying for them, but at the same time, my policy about meeting anybody is God. You know, I pray every day. I'm not perfect. I always say that I'm not gonna want to, you know, make myself to be good and everything. If God brings me any person and say, hey, Justice, this is the person. It's not going to be written on my face or something like that. But you know, we have to pray about anything. Like a young man, I meet a lot of women.
Then like mic drop.
You know, it's like that.
No, I think that's important. You can pray people out of your life.
Yeah.
I think I do that right now.
Yeah.
I think got to a point where I would take your full name to God.
Mm.
I would even call my mom and be like, Mom, just pray about this person. You don't know the person. I don't know anything about this person, but just pray the name. Like, if she calls me back, I'm like, this vibe, I don't even know who the person is or why you want me to pray. But nah, I feel this way. The same way I would pray. If I pray your whole name and I start to pray, by their fruit you shall know them. Like, from the first week, let them just display everything. That we don't get roped into any type of
anything.
Anybody's trying to waste anybody's time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also it is very important, especially as singles, you understand how God talks to you. You understand your relationship with God, so that when the right person comes, there will be a way that you know that yes, this is that person. If you are not somebody that normally have dreams, okay, you don't want to suddenly determine your spouse through dreams, right? Maybe yours is like still small voice, babe, my son, my son. That lady in red skirts, that's your wife. You understand? So you understand how God talked to you, and from that perspective, it will be easier for you to determine when that time comes, you know, to identify.
Let me tell you something like when she talked about what is it called, the triangle, man, woman, and then God. So that means each individual of us, either as a man, as a woman, you're single, you're searching, you should already have a relationship with God. That's
before
you know, if you want somebody that's godly, that both of you are gonna like be pointing to God, then you should have a relationship with God. He should have a relationship with God. So when you guys come together, then that's the only time you can. You know.
I have something to say too, because out of experience, like, it's not for me. It's not because, like, you know, if you ask a young person like myself and herself, like, okay, what do you want? What kind of man you looking at? Oh, I want an intelligent man, like she said, which is not a bad thing. Everybody do. I want an intelligent woman. I mean, I want a woman who, you know, I can be able to have conversations with, you know, learn new things and stuff like that. But at the same time, this is a very sensitive topic, and I think I had this conversation with the pastor one time, because it's not all about, for me, that's how I look at it. It's not all about school for me. It's not all about money. It's not all about well to do, of which I want it. You know, but what you want might not be what God wants for you. You know, because if God gives me a rich woman, that might deviate me from serving the Lord. You know, I might want to be, you know, live a kind of life which is not going to be favorable to God. So when it comes to like meeting someone, I don't care where my wife is going to come from. If God wants to give me a wife from Africa, from Jamaica, wherever she's going to be.
Hausa.
I don't agree, Maria Hausa. Ma talk at that. But yeah, you know, I'm not being.
But you don't mind that.
No, I'm not.
I needed to put that there because I know you. You're so.
We just had that conversation.
It's either it's God's will, not my will. I started. There was a time I was always cutting up a group of people, and then everybody that came into my life was from that group. I was like, you know what, God, I accept everybody. That's the thing, because you can think it into existence. That's the power of our mind. So for me, I don't have a list, because I really cut out that list, because you start to meet they all like this is
The
not
one you
good. There's
don't
a
want.
way that seems right, but the end
Yeah.
of it, there are things that kind of match everything on the list, and somehow you're like,
It's not gonna work.
it seemed like it, but this one is not it. So it's always good to know like God's will to lead. And I've learned to be like, God, I don't really like this, but I trust you. It's very easy to just be like, you know, I don't feel good about this, but I trust you. Let me go in, because what you're doing, you know what I need. And many times, God leading just saves me the stress. Because think about it. Do you want to be the Israelites that went through 40 years?
40 years.
Or do you want to have just gotten there like in
11.
40 days or whatever, however they amount was
11
supposed to take you? Do you want to be Jonah after the fish or before the fish? Like, I don't want the fish to swallow me for me to say, okay, God, let me go and do your will. So I like to commit to God's will, regardless of what I want. And I started to learn to look past what it is that we've created about people, the bias. Like,
Okay, so because I'm still going to go back to justice and
because I don't understand what
Yes.
to say.
Really, like,
Some of my closest friends are Hausa.
Okay.
No, I don't.
yeah, but
I grew up in Kaduna and then
Okay.
Abuja.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
Look, it's some good. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that out of a little kind of humor type of stuff. But I mean, at the same time, I really, I love them. I'm not gonna lie.
It does not compromise.
I love them, but
Yeah.
it's not. They are not all of them. It's not all of them. It's not. It's not. It's just cause like I'm in my feelings a little bit of what is happening in my country and everything. Like I see people die, and it's. I mean, I think the media is getting the best out of me. But at the same time, if God really tells me like, okay, my wife is gonna be from that kind of community and all of that, before God even try to bring that kind of thing to me, He's gonna be the one to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, yeah. I mean, I can see myself doing that if that's the will of God. That's what I would say. But I'm not trying to be homophobic.
It's tribalistic.
Yeah. Well, thank you for clarifying. That's actually.
That's not gonna be my preference. But, I'm just.
He's still saying God, I beg.
I kind of understand him because the thing is,
Our
regardless of
Yeah, I experienced
You
that.
know,
Oh,
Experience.
let's not
Yeah.
even go there.
so
Yeah.
regardless
Let's not
of
even go there.
us being open and stuff like that, God still knows our limitations.
He knows our
That
heart
he
desires.
knows it. That no matter what, even if he gives you, because if you want to commit something into your hands and he gives you this person and he knows that assignment that he wants you to do specifically, and if you go with this person, he's not going to tie or you're not going to listen. It's as good
That's
as
very
being,
good.
The thing is, if I'm praying to God, when you pray to God for patience, He doesn't throw patience at you.
He
He
doesn't
gives you an
give
opportunity.
you someone
to
that likes to be
practice.
frustrated.
So if I want to be happy, because we pray, like I want a long-lasting marriage,
yes.
and God sends a person, should where that person is from or whatever bias I have in my head, because sometimes we're very close-minded. We're like, well, God, answer my prayer, whatever you say, but God says something, we're like, whatever else you say. So we go back to that. It comes to it. God will give you what you desire, but all Lord leads to God's will. If that is God's will for you, you're going to have to like it. You're going to have to make it happen.
So that calls for your own total submission, total obedience to God.
To God. Yep.
See, it calls for. I understand what both of you are saying, but like he said, there's something we should not throw away. There are some experiences you can just not deal with, and no matter how much we like it, those things comes into play.
Definitely.
It comes into play. We say God, at times the will of God is hard. Like I usually say, I'm not going to sit here and tell you everything is easy, everything is just like that. No. It's easy for us to say, I'm going to do the will of God, I just want the will of God. But when you're actually stuck in it, that's when you can actually say, I'm going to do the will of God or not. Because your experiences, everything, personally, I just don't want to bring myself into it. I don't want to bring my own experiences into it. I don't want to bring my own marriage into it. But there are some things that I will not do that I've learned from my marriage. Do you understand? So no matter how much we want to do the will of God, and my marriage was, I actually thought it was the will of God. But then when I was in it, I started questioning God.
Yeah. From that's different. This experiences teaches things. That's
Yes.
different, taking on things. But it's a whole different thing from, hey,
It's not
well,
talking about
this
his
set of
bias.
people.
It's the outside person. It's not even his bias. It's just the things
The will.
is sort of an experience.
Mhm.
We've
But
all
that's the thing. But that's the thing.
experienced
It's a mindset. God, you hate the sin, love the sinner. We have to learn to It's not easy, but we have to learn it because I have a lot of group of
Okay,
from
sorry,
certain
let me
places.
let me
Yeah.
ask you something. Is there do you have like what you want in a guy?
Yeah, of course, everyone does.
You do,
like,
right?
You kind of
Okay, is there like a deal breaker for you?
Yeah, there are things that are deal breakers.
Like what?
I don't do cheating. I'm sorry.
Okay,
That's like,
now the will of God for you is a community. I don't want to use the word. Community P.
Excuse me.
Wait, I'm coming. It's a community, but that is the will of God for you. You believe it was the will of God for you. But this person has this flaw. How do you deal with that?
see, like I said,
And you just said it is
like
a
I
deal
said,
breaker,
I
right?
said marriage is God's grace. It's grace. Like it's not an easy thing to take on. If you say you're gonna walk, if you take on this cross, you will be persecuted for my name because you know me. Like you either decide you want to do it or decide, you know, God, I can't really put 100% in this. Now, I'm not coming from experience. The things I know from experience, this will not last. We're not compatible. Because yes, I love you. You're not God. God doesn't put His hand in. God can guide you to the people that will help you do His will. But there are multiple people that fit that line. When somebody doesn't fit it anymore, somebody else becomes the best person for the job. That's how simple it is. Because we still have our decision. This person loved God. The person stopped loving God and started to do their own thing. That person stopped being the perfect thing. Think about Saul and David. He stopped being the king that God wanted. He turned to somebody else. He's graceful. God's will be done.
Because
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Excuse me. That's what I'm saying. Like this. Like,
We should be advised about a group of
Yeah.
people.
No,
That's what I'm not
that's
quoting.
true. That's true. But you know, like what she just said right now, like you don't like a cheating man, right? What if God say, okay, you're gonna get married to this man and he's
The
cheating?
person wasn't even cheating. It was after you got married
Okay,
that
and
the
he started
cheating
What you
comes
gonna do? You
out.
gonna break up with a man? What's gonna be your decision? What you gonna do?
God, I'm gonna go to God. Like you're the one that put me in this. You're gonna get me out of it.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
So the
that's
experiences
yeah.
come into play. That's just what we're saying.
Yeah.
Someone has
Personal experiences. What I'm coming at is like it's when you say it's a whole group of people. That's if I stay and all black people like this. That's
put
why I
him,
have a
I put him
problem.
on that spot because we had a discussion before
Yeah.
we came
Yeah,
on the show.
which
So-
I apologize, man.
That's just my own.
Yeah.
Like it's not a whole group of people. It's a personal
Yeah.
thing.
It's all good, but at the same time, the thing we have to carry back home as young people, because like when they say they are married for 13 years or 12, 13, and somebody's gonna feel like, oh, everything is just better rosy. So
No,
I
no.
bet you they have some ups
Oh,
and downs.
see, when I even told that they were coming on the show, you know what she told me? She said we'll fight though. That was like, what? She said we'll fight.
So like,
And
yeah,
then,
see, I've had a lot of experience. Like, if there are girls who you think like, oh, like one of my friends was about to get married one time, and you know, and about this girl, and he asked me, he called me like, hey, what's up with this girl? I'm like, man, look, not go there. Like, it's not like that, because like you know, if you look at the past life of that female, it was like you know. So when he went to get married, I was like. You know, we had a group chat and everybody was like, oh no, man, I cannot attend that kind of a marriage. But guess what? That girl is something else right now. You know, she has given her life to Christ and reach, everything has come to place. So when it comes to like, you know, meeting someone and, you know, I'll rally everything to be in God's control. That does not
Do your
mean,
part, let
yeah,
God do His.
that does not mean we're not going to look at what we want or because I know I want a pretty woman, I'm not going to lie. Pretty woman. They're free, but you know,
That's
It's become a prayer
That's
point.
your own deal breaker.
Prayer
Alright.
project.
wow. So the truth of the matter is we could actually keep going. And
Yeah, sure,
we'll just
definitely.
keep going. Because it's just going to take the whole day, but our time is way overboard. We've gone overboard with our time. I was actually supposed to put them on the spot about, you know, if they know themselves, what shoe size does she wear, what is that this, what is that, but we really do not have time for that now. Because we've been going for more than an hour, I think. Alright, so we are just going to round this up. And I'm going to just ask them to give you like their final thoughts, final advices, you know. So I'm going to let me start from Justice. So your final thoughts about everything we've talked about today.
my final thought is like, you know, we should like try to relate everything to the Christendom. Like we should be able to put you know, put the worldly stuffs aside of everything, and like she said, bring how did she say it? Like make everything Christian like, so we can like, you know, live in love.
Don't be over spiritualized. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Over spiritualized things there. All right, thank you, Justice. So, Mimi.
Um, for me, I would say serve the season. If you're single, enjoy it, honey. Enjoy it because you have your freedom to some extent. So you want to serve whatever season that you're in and make sure you're going back to God. Meeting this person does not automatically make you happy. Meeting this person does not. People that say, when I meet this person, this is going to happen. That's not how it works. You have to find that contentment in yourself and in who God has said you are before bringing another person to. If not, you will do more damage than good. So it's okay to be alone for a period. For everything, there is a time. There's a time, there's a season. So serve the season and let God prepare you for the next phase. So that way, when you're married, you would actually have the grace for it. So that's what I think. Just serve the season and make sure that God is at the center of your entire life.
All right, thank you so much, Mimi. So, Ayo.
Yeah, my conclusion is let's show love every day. Give love, show love.
Shalom.
Sure.
Thank you so much. And
Well, nothing much. God is the center of everything, and in everything that you do, Bible say, in all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. So, irrespective of where you are with regards to relationship, let God still be the focus of everything. Your experience might have come in and it might have gone, but the most important thing is that God remains the same. So let Him be your focus, and then everything will, end well for you. That's my
thank
thoughts.
you all so much. We've had fun. So for me, I'm just going to say happy Valentine to everybody. Have fun. Like we've all said today, don't make it a one-day thing. Celebrate each other. Celebrate every person in your life. Celebrate your mom, your spouses, your children, your friends. You know what? Sow love. Give love. Share love. You know, it's a season of love. Like Justice said, there's too much bad news in the world right now. There's a lot of negative things going on out there.
Buy gifts too. Buy gifts.
Buy gifts, yes.
Buy
Give
gifts
flowers.
for wives. Yeah.
Flowers, right?
Yeah, flowers, anything. Cars,
So give gifts, share
Cars.
gifts, share love, give love. You know, there's a lot of AIDS also out there. So give love, share love, be a loving person, be your brother's keeper, be your neighbor's keeper, and above all, be a child of God. You know, nothing beats that. If you can be a child of God, if we are all children of God, a lot of our issues will be solved. So give love and happy Valentine's Day. See you next week. Oh, before we go, next week is going to be another edition of my story. I'm bringing someone wants to come share a story of abuse. I hope it won't be too heavy and too emotional. But that's what you should look forward to next week. And until next week, when we come your way with another episode, my name is still Odun. I'm your friend, I'm your sister, I'm someone else's daughter, and I'm a woman like you. So see you next week.